Hi everyone, this is Meir with the message of the week. You've heard many messages from me before, and the reason was good. We had a very, very nice workshop with people who came from out of town and people who came from this town, and everybody was happy. And I want to talk to you today about something very important. I'm sitting here with my staff as well as a client. And I want to talk about the most important thing that is so silent in our body, and yet is the most important thing that is happening in our body, is the most important news in your life, and yet you never hear about it anywhere else. Definitely not on the radio and on TV. And that is your blood flow, your circulation. Nobody knows about it. Especially not you. What do you know about your circulation? Much of nothing. It is silent. So you don't know if your circulation is so good that you will live here on earth for the next 75 years, or it is so bad that in a day you'll die from a heart attack. But there are ways to improve circulation. And before talking about those ways, let's add few things. Most blinding conditions are a result of poor blood flow. In glaucoma, everybody is talking about eye pressure, but much of the problem is not getting enough blood flow to the optic nerve. And even the eye pressure goes way down when more blood flows to the eyes. Wet macular degeneration is known to be as the worst condition, central vision killer, basically, where you cannot anymore see what's in front of you. You look at a person and you wouldn't be able to see his nose when you look at his nose. So wet macular degeneration is a result of poor blood flow to the blood vessels of the macula, and then we grow new blood vessels that are not perfect, so they leak. And I can start and tell you the physiology of it again and again, but here it is. Poor blood flow is the reason of 85% of people's blindness. Poor blood flow is the reason for 50% of people's death. Poor blood flow is the reason for all kinds of smaller problems, like poor memory, like fatigue. Doesn't it happen to you that in the middle of the day, all of a sudden you fatigue and you try to take a stimulant or two, it works for half an hour, and then it doesn't? So what will bring better blood flow? Well, first of all, as you sit here and you listen to me, take a deep breath. Because deep breathing will definitely push the blood to all your body. And a deep breath is not what most people think is deep. A deep breath is slow breath. The slower you will breathe, the better you will breathe. Your inhalation has to be very, very slow, and the exhalation even slower. And the slower your exhalation is, the slower your inhalation is, and the better you breathe. And then, you need to understand a few things. If your shoulders are tight, and if your hip joints are tight, then not enough blood goes to the feet and not enough blood goes to the head and hands. Loosening up your shoulders, as we will work on in subsequent discussions, will bring more blood to your hands and feet. That's one of the reasons that I want to do my training course. Anyone who will take my training course will leave with much, much better circulation. And that's what I hope to convey with my workshops online, which will be formed sometimes at the end of this year. So it is so important for you to have more blood flow. Let me give you a few signs that shows you when your blood flow is working well or poorly. Whenever you're fatigued, it means your blood doesn't flow well. And some people, while being fatigued, exercise. It's a mistake. When you're fatigued, you should lie down and rest. Sometimes when I have long sessions, when I teach a class from 9 till 7, during the lunch break, I lie down for 10 minutes and rest. And sometimes I even sleep for 1 minute, and I'm refreshed as if I just had a full night's sleep before the second session of my class. If your breathing is shallow and repetitive and quick, it means your blood doesn't flow well. So slow breathing is the way for better circulation. As I said, if your hips are tight and your shoulders are tight, well, that's a very, very bad problem. So before I continue, take a mat, lie on the floor, turn the program off so you can set it well, and then turn it back on. Now, put your feet together and knees apart, and straighten and bend your knees. You straighten them until the foot is straight and the heel is on the floor. You bend it until the heel is almost touching your groin. And you go back and forth from leg to leg, right and left in great speed until you feel warmth in the side of your foot. You do it for 100 times, and you do it every day. And before you know it, your whole body will become warm. Do it right now for about 30 or 40 times so you can return to this program. Now that you came back, let's take a look at a few more signs. If you feel flexible, it means your blood flows well. And if you feel stiff, it means it doesn't. You could be a very flexible person, but this minute you feel stiff, and that shows that your blood is not flowing well. You could have arthritis and be awfully stiff, but for this minute, you feel a bit more flexible, and that means your blood flows much better. If you feel heavy, it means your blood doesn't flow well. And after all my sessions, people always feel light, and they have ease of movement. And that definitely means the blood flows well. And I can tell you there is nothing like working on a muscular dystrophy person, a child or an adult that has muscular dystrophy, working on their muscles, and they are light when they leave the table and they felt so heavy, dragging their feet when they went on the table. And that means they feel much better. And they're on the way for recovery. These are some of the signs that I wanted to give you. There are many more. And I'm looking forward to talk to you in future time. The best thing you can do is come to my class in August. Devote time to yourself. Live with looser joints, relaxed body, and with much more circulation. Until next week, have a wonderful time.